What's up, Foundation? What's up, Foundation? What's up, Foundation? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, God been working on me, man, since I was born. And don't forget, man. I represent Jesus Christ.
What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Back again. Get straight to the point. As you can tell from the title, this finna be some Saguni talk. Some about the Rainbow Mafia. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I can put a video out about anything. It may get some views. It may not get a lot of views. May get a lot of views if it's about somebody being, I don't know, some foolishness. But what baffles me, it seems to me like what will always get a lot of views is anytime y'all see something on here about some gay stuff in prison. I don't understand it. I do not understand what is the world's fascination with gay stuff in prison. Does it go on? A lot. Yes, it does. But from what I can tell, y'all really want to know about it. So anyway, got to give the people what they want. Listen, one of the main questions that I've been asked a lot over the years since I've been in YouTube is, which prison system between the California prison system and the Alabama prison system, which one is more gayer? Which one of them had more gay activity going on? Which one of them, you know what I'm saying, leaned to that the most? And, you know, I used to, didn't want to go into it, but now here it is. We gonna go into it. We gonna talk about it, so ain't nobody got to, speculate or wonder or ask no more, because I'm finna give it to you in the raw. Now, first off, I haven't been in the California prison system. The last year I was in the California prison system was 1996. So anything from 1996 on up to now, which is what, 29, 30 years, I don't really know a lot about the inner interactions that go on within the California prison system. I talk to people in there a lot. I get info on a lot, so I probably can speculate and give you an off the cuff answer to this. So anyway, but now, and I can show enough give you an answer to what goes on in the Alabama prison system, because that's the prison system I just left. Okay, listen. I was in the California prison system in the 1980s, in the 1990s. When I first stepped into the California prison system, anything that had to do with homosexuality, it was not even on my radar. I wasn't thinking about it. It wasn't nothing that was presented to me. It wasn't nothing that you would just go up and see every day, all day, and especially if you were in a higher level prison. That it was too much stuff going on. Our politics were too different in the California system. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of racial problems going on. You had a lot of gang problems going on, and you had a lot of back and forth, you know what I'm saying, animosity with convicts and the police. And like I say, it wasn't a lot of time to even pay any attention to what the Sagunis were doing. You know what I'm saying? The hoo-hoo-hoos. It wasn't. When I first stepped into the California system, did I see them? Yeah, I can say, yeah, I seen them. but it wasn't nothing that I keyed in on. I was caught up in this gang stuff and this racial stuff. Did I see him in the county jail? Yeah, I seen him in the county jail in L.A. I know one of the things I do remember, like in the L.A. County jail, the gay, the fruit bats, the gays, they were up on some floor. I can't remember what floor back then. I just know it was upstairs. It was up, and every now and then I would hear conversations about how some dudes was trying to get up on that floor where they was at and want to live up there with them, and you had to go through some type of classification or something, and the police would ask you questions, because it was dudes in there that was faking like they was gay, trying to get up there with them, and you had to go through the police's inquiry about some gay stuff, about certain stuff that on the streets, or certain questions that only somebody who was really really in that lifestyle would know. And if you pass the test, you could go on up there with them. If not, they said, "Nah, get up out of here, man. You just trying to get over there with them." I vaguely remember that. I can't give you the whole ins and outs with it, because it didn't make no difference to me, and could care less. I was, what I'm saying? Yeah, I would see them every now and then going to court. Then when I finally hit the prison system, like I say, they was there, but they weren't nothing I paid attention to. And the level of gayness in the California system, it wasn't to the point to where you just was bombarded with it and just couldn't help but notice it. If you wasn't in that lifestyle or living that life, then it was almost pretty much gonna be non-existent to you. You might have seen a dude on the yard that okay, he gay, stuff like that. Like I say, after so many years being in the California system, it got to the point to where, you got to the point they had a thing. They had two different classifications. Because when I was in Chino, when I first started coming through Chino receiving, they would get into it. They was classed up as two different things: gay boys or queens. The gay boys were the rough looking, rough looking gay people that looked, looked at, they was, they weren't with the long hair, I guess the makeup and all that old, just they didn't look real feminine. They were just some dudes that was gay. So they called them gay boys. Then you had the more feminine ones that talked a certain type way, walked a certain type way, and that was them. And those two didn't get along. I did have an incident in Chino one time to where a dude thought that I was trying to talk to his boy, which he had me mixed up. And it was in Chino, and he came on the tier and came to my cell one day, and he was an older dude, man. I was in my early mid-20s, and it was an older dude came to my cell and like, "Hey man, you the one trying to holler at," I don't even remember the boy name. Ooh, I'm like, "Man, who you talking about?" I'm like, so when I'm like, so the first thing I'm like, "Homie, what city he from?" And dude was like, "What?" I'm like, what city he from?" He like, no, he ain't from no set, man. He a punk, you know what I'm saying? He a this, that, and the other. I'm like, "Man, I don't know what you, man. Get away from my cell, homie. I don't know what you talking about, fool." At the time, I was in game. I'm from Avalon. I don't know who. And then he come to find out it was the wrong cell, But other than that, it wasn't, dude, mostly the non-affiliates and dudes that were just doing their own thing indulged in that in the Cali system. It was not accepted, period, for somebody to be, part of, an organ, not an organ, but, Cripple Blood, that was banging. When I was in there, to be just laid up doing that, it would have knocked my wig back. As time went on, when I was in the Cali system, did I see Crips or Bloods that indulged in it? Yeah, I did. I seen it. I could probably count on my hand on these hands how many times. It wasn't no widespread thing. Yeah, but it was highly frowned upon, highly frowned upon, man, highly frowned upon. So, that's how the Cali system was when I was in there in the 80s and 90s about that type get down. So then years later, when I came to the Alabama system, I didn't see it a lot in the county jail, but I immediately started seeing it in the receiving, in what they call Kilby. Um, and it was a culture shock to me because it was acceptable. It was acceptable. By the time I got to prison, it tripped me out. I'm in the maximum level prisons, and these boys, the gay dudes, they was like the ones working in the shift office. They had the good jobs in the school. They had the jobs in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And they was the runners, worked for the captain, worked for the lieutenants, worked for the sergeants, and they had pull. And I'm like, so it tripped me. I'm like, man, you pull, man, what you man? So boom, and then it was it was acceptable for dudes to mess with them as long as they was playing the man role. Long, it was like long as you wasn't putting nothing in your mouth or in your hand or in your behind or anything like that, and you was playing the man role, the protector role, it was acceptable. And that was totally different from what I seen in a California prison, to the point to where it tripped me out. How to put it, like in the Alabama system, it's not frowned upon at all. You know what I'm saying? As far as the gay aspect in the Alabama prison system, it's a way of life. It is a way of life. It is incorporated into the system. It is incorporated into everything that goes on in the prison system in Alabama. Um, like I told you before, when I came into the Alabama system, that was probably one of the number one things that would get your life took, is messing with somebody else boy. You know what I'm saying? Or indulge it into that lifestyle. Now, if you got caught, if you was like a Crip, a Blood, a disciple, a Vice Lord, or whatever, and you got caught doing what they say, quote unquote, you ain't supposed to be doing as a man, then you was gonna be what they call violated, what they call stripped. They'll burn your tattoos off or beat you up or all type of stuff. And it's a trip. You weren't being violated just based off the fact that you was messing with one. You was gonna be violated if you were doing more than what was allotted for you to do with one. You know. So that was a little bit different to me, a lot bit different to me. Um, I've seen dudes in the Alabama system that were full fledged girls. You know what I'm saying, blowed all the way with it, and still had they gang tattoos on them. I've seen stabbings and fights and stuff because they wanted to be gay, they wanted to be a girl, but they did not want to relinquish their tattoos. They did not want to let them go. No, they still somewhat wanted to be affiliated with whatever gang that they were part of on the streets. But now they then came to prison and then they crossed over to the dark side, but they still wanted to hold on to their gang roots. Boy, that's wild. That was wild, you know. And I seen it. I seen it. The level of turnouts. The most gayest prison in Alabama was Donaldson. For those who was around back in the day, called West Jefferson. Donaldson Correctional Facility, West Jefferson Correctional Facility, they the same thing. It was called Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a nickname for it, Sodom and Gomorrah. This was the most gayest prison that you had ever wanted to see in Alabama. And the cool part about it, it was the most maximum level prison in Alabama. It wasn't nothing. I've seen, man, look, at one time, it was nothing to see a dude just flip out and just get turned out, give up the ghost, and just come out on the tier one day and say, hey, holler over the tier, hey, man, I'm gonna let y'all know now. Don't call me such and such no more. Call me Trina, call me Lisa, call me Chi-Chi, or whatever little funny little fruit bat name that they was gonna come up with. And you be looking up and dude to say it, and it was like, yeah, all right. And dudes would go back to playing dominoes and looking at TV like it ain't nothing. And some of these dudes was Crips, some of them was Bloods, some of them was Disciples, Vice Lords, whatever. Yeah, they just decided, you know what? I'm tired of hiding it. They might have been creeping and freaking for town hall, and they decided that this is what they want to do. This is what they want to do. And it for years it tripped me out because I'm seeing dudes from whatever gang that they used to be a part of, they was about their life at first, and years later, here it is. Now they walking around with a purse, with a homemade purse, and a laundry bag skirt on, dancing on the table Friday night with dudes throwing coffees and cigarettes at them. Yeah. And the cold part about it, man, if you sit in that system long enough, to be honest with you, it becomes the norm. You don't even trip on it no more. It ain't no shocker to you. It ain't no eye buster, none. You're just like, dang, You don't even say dang no more. You're like, hey, man, you heard about old boy the other night? What's up? Old dude used to be in such and such. Oh, no, what happened? Oh, man, you like, shoot, man. They call him Penelope now. Oh, what, food and came out? Yeah, man. Dude, like, go to finish talking about football like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing to see a dude coming down the hallway and he on full-fledged bull status with 3-4 boys walking in front of him, going to the kitchen. He walking behind him like, yeah, his stable. That's his stable. I had never seen or even heard of nothing like that in the California system. Never, ever, ever. Never, But in the Alabama system, it was the norm. Yeah. I have never seen in the California system 2 men sleeping in the bed together. It was the norm in the Alabama system. It wasn't nothing. It was nothing. It was the norm, I've never seen in the California system 2 men hugged up with their arms wrapped around each other watching TV. It was the norm in the Alabama system. It was the norm. You don't even pay no attention to it, man. Don't even pay no attention to it. Some of the man, you can just go back through some of my old videos and some of the stuff that was there. I have never seen in the California system a man take another man's life behind another man that he was in love with. It was the norm in the Alabama system. Yeah. I told you, I knew dudes in the Alabama system I knew dudes in the Alabama system that you can punch them, kick them, sock them, and do whatever you want to. They was not going to defend themselves. But now, if they had a boy that they was in love with, do something to that boy and they would transform into the Hulk right before your eyes and will tear tail. Will turn into a real live goblin because you messing with his boy. It was the norm. I seen it all the time. I came into a prison when I got transferred. I got transferred when I from one prison in 99 or 2000 to another prison. Then when I first stepped into West Jefferson, Donaldson, they brought me to the shift office, and the captain who ran the prison told me that if I put my hands on one of his girls, he gonna lock me up and shit me so fast I won't even know what dinner tastes like. What? What is that to tell? Tell an inmate or a convict, whatever you want to be known as, huh? But now the reason he did it because the prison I got shipped from, I had caught an assault on one because he said hi to me. And like I say, when I first stepped into the Alabama system, I was homophobic. I thought if you talk to one or they breathe on you, you was gonna turn into one. And I was coming across the day room floor one day, and one said hi to me, and I went upstairs and punched him, and it was in my jacket, it was in my file. And so when I end up, later on getting shipped to this other prison, to Sodom and Gomorrah, the captain of the prison, he didn't tell me don't come in here with no gang banging stuff, don't come in here scaring his officers or this, that, and the other. He told me don't come in here and put my hands beat up on any of them boys that was in that prison. That tripped me out, man. That tripped me out. But that's how it was. Did I stay like that my whole state? No, I did 23 straight in Alabama, and by the time I went home, I didn't look at them. I ain't gonna lie, I did not look at them the same way I did when I first stepped in because it was a everyday thing. I had learned to just look at them as other dudes doing time, but they had an alternative lifestyle. That's how I had learned to just start looking at them. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? To the point to where I had a couple of partners that was gay. What they did with their lifestyle, that was their lifestyle. And when they didn't bring it to me, but if this is what they did, cool. You know what I'm saying? They were still human beings. They were still cool people. They was just gay. That's, hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got to the point where I wasn't scared to talk to them or anything like that. Long as they, when they was talking to me, they kept it on a certain respectful level. We was all cool. But yeah, that's how the Alabama system is. Not was, but is right to this day. So that's the big difference between the Cali system and the Alabama system. So the answer to the question is yes, the Alabama prison system is 1,000,000% more gayer than the California system. Tell the people you love them. And I represent Jesus Christ, y'all. And if you stay out of prison, you ain't got to worry about which one is this and that. I'm out, y'all. Peace.